Anybody going to watch any movies this weekend? You watch Borderlands yet? Yeah, I mean, I have my opinions going in, but I also went in with no expectations, right? Because I love all things Borderlands, and I always have like a soft spot for that. So I definitely came in without any expectations, but you know, I had my opinions. No spoilers or anything like that, but you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. I was hard on possibly Jamie Lee Curtis playing Tannis, and she did a pretty good job. Didn't do too bad. Like I said, I had my opinions, or even Jamie Lee Curtis or Kate Blanchett, but I was like, all right, let's see, right? And the one that plays Tiny Tina, it didn't dawn on me, but she was also in Barbie. Did you guys know that? She did an interview and she said something along the lines of how she had asked for advice on playing Tiny Tina with Margot Robbie when she was obviously, I think, you know, when they were filming Barbie or whatnot, or during the time they're together, right? Had asked her basically her version of Harley Quinn. Now, we know Tiny Tina is not Harley Quinn, but the actress had asked Margot Robbie for some tips. When she said that, I already felt some sort of way. You know, I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be a certain something, you know, where I'm just like, dang it, why Harley Quinn and Tiny Tina are two separate characters? But like, if let's see, Idris Elba, what do you think of him playing Roland? Wouldn't he be amazing or what as Roland? I came in giving my whole heart to Kevin Hart in the sense of like, hey, I know he's done serious roles before. Let's see what he can do. Unfortunately, I believe how they written his lines didn't make it better. Like we already had certain opinions about him. Like we know Roland. I'm not spoiling anything by telling you about Roland. Roland is the commander commanding the glue to it. So if you go and give Roland lines where I felt possibly didn't fit Roland's character, and you're making, okay, here's this spoiler, you're making short jokes. Roland was not short, right? Like you're putting lines in there that's not relevant, and you're not giving Kevin Hart now a better chance of being more than what we already thought, you know, of just comedian comic. And Roland is not a comedian, right? Like we know him to be the serious, he was the straight dude in a sense, right? Where everybody else around him was the one that can be crazy and weird, and Roland's like, he's the commander. I feel that what they gave Kevin Hart, and when it comes to the script, there's nothing he could have done about some of the things he was asked to do, right, as an actor and as Roland. I have so much to say about the movie. I do have a lot to say about the movie though. You just have to go in it and treat it like it's its own thing, like its own movie. Because yeah, I'm not spoiling it, because there's many reasons why you can't like see it that way. So you know all the lore. So imagine going in and not knowing the lore though. Okay, you can know a little bit, but not all. There was one continuity thing that like was like, like, okay, I love Tannis. The reason why I wasn't sure how she was gonna do it, and Tannis was always, she might be considered rude to some people, but because she has such a high IQ, you know, she can't be quote unquote bothered, right? In a sense, she did that fairly well. She was still more likable than maybe for me. Because Jamie Lee Curtis, I love her. Like I love her. I know you're gonna watch it. Everybody that played Borderlands I know every person of us, we're such die-hard fans. We're gonna sit there and bitch and complain the whole time. But we're still gonna end up watching it. Are you gonna watch it? It won't be fun if you don't know the Borderlands story. Well, when I watched it, there was a dude sitting next to the older gentleman. He was like, what is this, like, is this movie about like a video game, or what is this like? And so of course starts talking about Kevin Hart, right? Like, he's a comedian, what is this serious, you know, role? And like, you know, this guy didn't know. And then I don't know, 15 minutes in or less than that, like 5 minutes into the trailers or something, a couple walking in, they're like maybe in their 70s, and we were the only like group of people that were in that theater. So only me and my brother played that game in that theater. So there were still people that didn't play, or the older generations that still want to watch the movie. But it's kind of cool, you know. Mind you, I went to the early screening, the first screening there was available for that day. Yeah, I have my opinions of who would be an excellent handsome Jack actor. Kate Blanchett actually did fairly a good job. Like she looked like I believed her as Lilith, you know what I mean? Like, and she was kind of like, Lilith always like a team player a bit, so she did have that essence. They wrote her in fairly well with that. And the way she moved, like the way she stood was like the character, which is kind of cute. When I was like looking, I was like, oh my god, that's somebody standing like Lilith. So they have a lot of essence, and I was excited for those little small moments, that like things that I recognized from the from the game, that you can see it like in real life. It's pretty dope, not gonna lie. Wouldn't Jim Carrey be an awesome handsome Jack? And you know, casting, it could also be of like, you know, the manis. Yeah, you can see Jim doing handsome Jack, right? The way he does manic acting, right? Like, who else, right?